Welcome back to Final Fantasy II. In the previous episode, I infiltrated the town of Finn, finding Prince Scott of Kashuan, who, in his last moments, tells of what transpired during the fall of Finn. Then, I returned to the Rebel HQ, being given a mission to find Mithril to equip the rebels, joining with Minwu, braving the mines of Summit Falls, freeing the people of Salaman, while finding the Mithril as well. With another mission accomplished, I'm given the task to go to Bafsk and destroy the Dreadnought that's being built there. So let's get to it! The retrieval of Mithril has given the rebel army better equipment opportunities. Now, the armor shop here at Altair sells Mithril shields, Mithril helms, Mithril armor, and Mithril gloves. I then buy a knife for Firion, to train his knife skill in between top sections of the game, going back to his sword when doing so. I then make my trek to Bafsk, checking the weapon shop of Poft. It now sells Mithril spears, Mithril swords, Mithril axes, and Mithril bows. These are also available in Paloom. I circumvent the mountains east of Poft, finding the town of Bafsk. Facilities here include an inn, a healing statue, an item shop, a weapon shop that sells daggers, spears, long swords, and long bows, an armor shop that sells bronze shields, bronze helms, silver cuirasses, and bronze gloves. I buy 2 silver cuirasses for Firion and Maria, then check the magic shop, which sells Fear, Basuna, Esuna, and Silence. Fear is white magic that increases enemies' fear values, increasing the odds of fleeing. Basuna and Esuna are white magic that heal different types of status effects. Basuna heals temporary effects, while Esuna heals permanent effects, both requiring level ups to remove an increasing number of effects, while Silence is white magic that inflicts the temporary silence status that prevents usage of spells. I talk with the locals. A pass is required to enter the Dreadnought, with another local saying one of the Imperials is actually a rebel in disguise. The Imperials themselves are split though. Some hate working under General Borghen and question his competence, while others think he should work the locals more. Borghen sure seems to love barking orders. I find the disguised rebel. Asking him about the Dreadnought, he reveals where the sewers lie, saying it's the path to Dreadnought. I enter the sewers, going north, finding a long sword to give to Firion. I then circumvent the wall, going south, west, then south again, finding a chest with a longbow. I could give this one to Maria, for when I place her in the back row. I then go east, climbing the stairs up to the second floor. A new enemy that can be found here is the Deadhead, somewhat strong undead enemies with better defenses. I go east, north, then west, and north again, finding the Dark Knight, and the Dreadnought has been finished. We arrived too late. Of course, Borghen has to come and gloat as well. All I can do is see the Dreadnought fly away. I return back inside, going east, entering a room that has a chest that contains the pass. I also find a warp point out of here. The locals of Bafsk are in a total panic. According to one of them, the Dreadnought has headed towards Poft. Another says that Sid should know the Dreadnought's weakness. No time to waste. I must head to Poft. When I arrive there, I find a much less lively town. The Dreadnought has laid fire on the place, killing many. I then talk to Sid, asking him about the Dreadnought. He says to destroy its engine. I then ask about airships. He says that they are powered by Sunfire. New keyword learned. Sunfire is incredibly unstable. If it builds up too much, it blows up. I then arrive at Paloom, which has been devastated in much the same way. Then, at Altair, the streets are empty. The worst has come to pass. Altair has been attacked. I enter the HQ. A lady says that Sid knows the weakness of airships. Prince Gordon seems to be missing as well. The hideout, though, has remained unscathed, allowing it to house the survivors of this attack. I then talk to Hilda. The stress is being too much for the king, and Hilda requests that Minwu take care of him. Minwu leaves the party to attend to the king's well-being, but his illness is too severe. According to Minwu, the Sunfire is in Kashuan, which can be passed to Egil's torch. Asking him about the airship reveals that Sid gave up everything to build it. The attack on Altair was so grave, the king wonders if surrender is the answer. Asking him about the Sunfire reveals that Scott had sealed the gates of Kashuan. The goddess's bell is needed to open it. New keyword learned. Asking him about it says that only the Kashuan royal family knows of its whereabouts. While asking him about the airship reveals that Sid used to be a knight. I ask Minwu about the goddess's bell. Gordon would know what it is, but he's missing. Perhaps someone close would know. I ask Hilda about the goddess's bell. She says it's in a snowy cave. Josef would know where that cave is. It's time to go to Salaman. I buy a life tome there for Firion, Then I talk with Josef. I tell him of the goddess's bell at Snow Cave, but for that we need his snowcraft. It is hidden at the mines of Summit Falls, so he joins us to retrieve it. Josef starts with good HP, strength, agility and stamina, but lacks magical stats. He also has higher levels in evasion, magic defense and unarmed combat. Notably, this weapon's skill increases damage at higher levels, unlike all others which just increase hits possible. He will deal great damage with just his fists. I then make my way to Summit Falls, find the blue stone, examining the right wall, Josef reveals a passage. Then I find a chest containing the snowcraft, which allows for snow traversal. I then make a trip for Bafsk, buying Esuna for Firion, then make my preparations in Salamand. I head west, then north, finding the snowfield. New enemies that can be found include snowmen, high HP enemies, they are a bit weak though, and icicles, a bit bulkier. If weapon damage isn't enough, fire magic will break through them. After sailing east, I find the entrance to the snow cave. New enemies that can be found on the first floor include ghouls, stronger undead enemies that can inflict paralysis with their attacks, shadows, undead enemies that can blind with their attacks. This permanent status can be healed with a basic Esuna or eye drops. And grenades, stronger versions of balloons. Their self-destruct has been improved as well. Fire or lightning magic might be of help. I go north, then west, finding a chest containing 100 gil. I then go south, then east, finding a chest with 150 gil. I then go further south, then east, finding stairs to the second floor. A new enemy that can be found on this floor is the dual heads. Pretty strong enemies. They feature an unusual weakness to body element, although it is not easily exploitable at this point of the game. I circle around the wall to reach stairs to the third floor, then go east around the wall, opening a chest containing the Antarctic Wind. This item unleashes devastating ice damage on all enemies. I then go all the way east, then north, finding stairs back to the second floor. I then go south, finding a chest containing a battle axe that I give to Guy. I then go a bit west, opening a chest containing an antidote. I then exit the cave to rest in Salamand, then return. I return to the isolated section of the second floor, going all the way west, opening the chest containing a mithril mace, facing a forced encounter with grenades. I return to the third floor, going south, then west, finding stairs to the fourth floor. I go north, opening a chest containing a potion, then go east, opening a chest that holds a blizzard tome, then go south, opening a chest containing another potion, then go east, opening a chest holding a mithril spear. I'm considering using spears as Guy's secondary weapon type, so this could be of good use. I then go north, finding stairs to the fifth floor. I go west, finding a chest containing a mithril shield, which I give to Guy. Then I go back east, south, then west, finding a chest containing an ancient sword, facing a shadow and a ghoul that protect it. This sword is strong, but extremely inaccurate, almost never hitting, but when it does, it can inflict the curse status, which is a permanent halving of offense and defense. This status can swing a fight by itself. I then go east, entering a room full of beavers. Guy can apparently communicate with them, revealing a secret path to the right. I continue along the path, at the end of which is a chest containing a silver cuirass that I give to Guy. Then I face the Adamantoids, extremely powerful and bulky, almost impossible to beat, were it not for the Antarctic Wind that I found here, which one-shots it. I then retrieve the goddess's bell. Going through the nearby door, I find myself back at the first floor, finding Borghen, who faces me in combat. He's got decent offense and defense, as well as a healing ability, with no exploitable weaknesses, but a sustained defense takes him down. As we leave though, a boulder rolls down the stairs. Josef delays it for enough time for us to escape, but he is crushed under its weight. His sacrifice will not be in vain. I make my way back to Salamand, resting at the inn and buying life tomes for Maria and Guy. Then I go to Poft, buying a mithril bow for Maria, then return to Altair, reporting Josef's passing to Hilda. Now that I have the bell, I must make way for Kashuan, so I go to Poft, requesting Sidzer's ship service to ferry me to Kashuan. A new enemy found nearby is the Goblin Prince, a bit of a weak enemy. They can cast sleep though. I find the Sunfire at Kashuan, but must find Egil's torch to carry it first, so I unlock the nearby door with the goddess's bell. After entering, I find Gordon, who came to retrieve the Sunfire using the torch, but he's unsure of what to do next, so he joins us. Gordon is somewhat unremarkable, with low HP, MP and skills, but his other stats are actually good, so he can easily grow into any role, though this makes him somewhat weaker from the get-go compared with previous 4th slot characters. I decide to teach him the blizzard spell I found at Snow Cave, then continue along the corridor, going downstairs, then south, finding a chest holding a cure tome that I teach to Gordon. I then go north, west, then south, going upstairs to the second floor. New enemies found on this floor include weird rats. higher HP but weak enemies that poison with their attacks. Wraiths, undead enemies that drain HP with their attacks. This effect removes 1/16 HP with each hit. Ogres, strong and bulky enemies that take a while to go down. And ogre mages, high HP variants that can also cast spells, incredibly threatening. I go south, east, then north, finding a chest containing 300 gil. Then go around the southern wall, finding stairs to the 3rd floor. Here I go west, then south and west again, opening a chest containing a golden shield, defeating its weird rat guardians. I give this shield to Guy, giving him protection against poison spells. I then return to the center, going southeast, then north, finding stairs to the 4th floor. A new enemy that can be found here is the Ghast, a stronger ghoul that can still paralyze with its attacks, while also being capable of casting blind. I go through the western door of the northeastern room, finding 3 chests. They contain a mithril axe, which I give to Guy, a weird buster, to give to Maria, and a mithril sword, which I give to Firion. I leave the room, then go east, then south, climbing up to the 5th floor, going east, then south to the center, opening a chest containing golden armor. Much like the shield, it protects against poison, but it is guarded by balloons and mines, the latter being a new enemy, the next stage of the balloon enemy type. It has an even stronger self-destruction ability. One-shotting with fire or thunder is recommended. I then go to the northeast, entering a room with 3 treasure chests. They contain a mallet, which removes amnesia, eye drops, and an antidote. I also managed to get the sleep tome drop here, that I teach to Maria. I teleport out with Guy, rest at the inn of Poft, then take the airship back to Kashuan, going all the way back to the 5th floor. This time I go southwest, climbing down to the 4th floor, entering a nearby room, finding the guardian of Egil's torch, a red soul. It can cast multiple damaging spells. Considering you might have gotten the golden equipment, your best bet is that it casts Scourge, but there's no guarantee. It also absorbs every element, recovering HP from them. Once it spends its MP, it uses its strong attack as well. Its defenses are also pretty strong. Calling this battle a war of attrition is an euphemism. By the end of it, all that's left of my side is Maria, with 5 HP and a dream. Good thing I taught life to multiple party members. I then opened the chest containing Egil's torch, teleporting out, entering again, transporting the Sunfire into the torch. I leave the keep. As I cross the bridge, I see the Dreadnought capturing Sid's airship. I rest at the inn of Altair, then enter HQ. I was going to report my mission success to Hilda, but it turns out she had gone to Sid to congratulate us in person at Kashuan. I had actually witnessed her capture. A wise man says that the Dreadnought's resupply base is to the north of Finn. There's no time to waste, we must rescue Hilda. I buy a mithril shield for Maria, then make way for Dreadnought. As I pass Finn Castle, I find new enemies, including magicians, spellcasting enemies with an incredible repertoire, and many valuable drops. And Poruraskos, strong and bulky enemies, even more so than ogres. Throughout my travels, a magician ends up dropping the rare Mage's Staff, stronger than even the Weird Buster. I give it to Maria. It is also capable of casting Thunder 5. After a long trek, I finally find it, the Dreadnought. I enter this massive warship, showing the pass to the guard to get in without suspicion. New enemies found on this floor include stunners, weird beasts that inflict paralysis, and weird panthers, another kind of weird beast. This one is incredibly strong and capable of poisoning. I go down the nearby stairs, crossing a wall, finding a chest containing a sleep sword, capable of inflicting sleep, but is extremely inaccurate. This one was guarded by a sergeant and a soldier. I then go back to the 1st floor, going north, then west, opening a chest containing 400 gil. I then go east, then north, going through the door, finding stairs to the 2nd floor, going south, finding a chest containing a dark bow, another inaccurate status inflicting weapon. This one inflicts blindness. Maria might make use of it. Then I go east, opening a chest containing the Thieves' Gloves, which have good defense, are lightweight, and even grant an agility boost for even more evasion. I give these to Guy. I then go a bit north, then east, finding 2 chests, each holding a potion. I exit the Dreadnought, rest in a cottage, then go back in. This time, when I'm east, I go all the way to the south, going down an alternate 2nd floor, which has a new enemy, the Helldiver. Pretty strong attackers, but somewhat lower defense than expected at this point. I go around the room, climbing down to the next floor. This room has 4 chests on the east. I open them, getting a trident, giving it to Gordon for now, as he has been using spears. This one is effective against aquatic enemies. A Mangosh, which I give to Firion. It has a higher evasion rating compared to other offensive weapons. A Giant's Helm, which I give to Guy. Although it has a higher evasion penalty than the Mithril Helm, it has a strength boost. Then I finally open the latter chest, which contains an ice shield. It protects the user from fire spells, but before I can give it to Firion, I must face its protector, a Hilgigas, a giant with massive HP, attack, and defense. But I have a plan. Gordon uses a Blink Tome to greatly boost party evasion. Then I attack him with the Dark Bow, blinding him. Then the Ancient Sword, cursing him. He's still a bit threatening, but he's been taken to a manageable level, so I can defeat him with fewer worries. I leave the ship again, but lacking resources, I make a restocking trip to Altair. I get some tome drops as well, teaching Maria Blind and Berserk. This last one is a strength boosting spell. Once I return, I take the northeast door route, freeing Hilda and Sid from their cell. No key necessary, I guess. They will wait for us in Sid's airship, which will be our means of escape. I return to the first floor, then take the southeast route, returning to the room with the 4 chests, climbing up the stairs at the center, following the doors until I climb down to the next floor, full of Imperials acting as roadblocks. I must circumvent them through this maze-like floor, going through the west wall, then south, east and north, finally arriving at the center. I enter this room, finding the Dreadnought's engine, thus casting the Sunfire to it. The Dark Knight arrives, saying this isn't over, Maria believing she just heard her brother's voice. The party however must hurry or else, escaping on Sid's airship to Altair. I enter the HQ. Although Hilda is safe, the king's condition has worsened considerably, so I go see him. During his final moments, he tells Gordon he's proud of him, and for him to help Princess Hilda. Then he tells Minwu to seek the Ultimate Tome. With the world in such danger, he must break the seal that binds it. Then he tells Firion to go to Deist, the land of dragoons. Although the Empire says it wiped the dragoons, the king believes that there might be survivors. The dragoons and their wyverns should be of great help against Palamecia, and thus the king passes on. Gordon and Minwu set out to their tasks. I then enter the throne room. The wise man here says that Deist is in an island to the east of the snow plains. It is only accessible by ship. Then I talk to Gordon, who recounts Palamecia's raid of Deist. The Emperor was fearful of the dragoons, so he meant to wipe them. New keyword learned. Asking him about the dragoons reveals that they can speak the language of the wyverns. Yet another keyword learned. Asking him about the wyverns, he says that I could perhaps find a wyvern at Deist. I must board the ship at Paloom to head there. This has been a troubled journey. I infiltrated Bafsk to destroy the Dreadnought but failed, joined forces with Josef to find the goddess's bell, finally defeating the traitorous Borghen, but lost Josef in the process. Then I went to Kashuan, finding Gordon, joining with him to find Egil's torch to carry the Sunfire. Princess Hilda was caught though, so the mission to destroy the Dreadnought ended up being a rescue mission as well. After this double success though, we got bad news, as the king passed away, giving his final orders. Firion must go to Deist to find out if any of the dragoons are still alive. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, as I journey to Deist.